Welcome to Week 3 picks of the 2024 season. First up is the Patriots against the Jets, Jacoby Brissett against Aaron Rodgers. I'm going with the Jets over the Patriots. Next up is the Giants versus the Browns, Daniel Jones against Deshaun Watson. I'm taking the Browns over the Giants. Next up is the Eagles versus the Saints, Jalen Hurts against Derek Carr. I hate the Philadelphia Eagles, so I'm taking the Saints over the Eagles. Up next is the Texans against the Vikings, CJ Stroud against Sam Darnold. I'm going to take the Texans over the Vikings. Next up is the Broncos taking on the Buccaneers, Bo Nix against Baker Mayfield. I'm taking the Bucs over the Broncos. Next up is the Packers versus the Titans, Malik Willis against Will Levis. Jordan Love is questionable, so I'm taking the Titans over the Packers. Next up is the Bears against the Colts, Caleb Williams against Anthony Richardson. I'm taking the Bears over the Colts. Next up is the Chargers against the Steelers, Justin Herbert against Justin Fields. Go Steelers. I'm taking the Steelers over the Chargers. Next up is the Dolphins against the Seahawks, Skylar Thompson against Geno Smith. I'm taking the Seahawks over the Dolphins. Next up is the Panthers against the Raiders, Andy Dalton against Gardner Minshew. I'm taking the Raiders over the Panthers. Next up is the 49ers versus the Rams, Brock Purdy against Matthew Stafford. I'm taking the 49ers over the Rams. Next up is the Lions versus the Cardinals, Jared Goff against Kyler Murray. I'm taking the Lions over the Cardinals. Next up is the Ravens versus the Cowboys, Lamar Jackson against Dak Prescott. I'm taking the Cowboys over the Ravens. How about them Cowboys? Next up is the Chiefs against the Falcons, Patrick Mahomes against Kirk Cousins. How about them Chiefs? I'm going to take the Chiefs over the Falcons. Next up is the Jaguars taking on the Bills, Trevor Lawrence against Josh Allen. I'm taking the Bills over the Jags. And finally we got the Commanders against the Bengals, Jayden Daniels against Joe Burrow. I'm taking the Washington Commanders over the Bengals. Recap: Jets, Browns, Saints, Texans, Buccaneers, Titans, Bears, Steelers, Seahawks, Raiders, 49ers, Lions, Cowboys, Chiefs, Bills, and Commanders. That's all for now. That's all for this week. See you next week. End of video.